Hello, welcome everyone. I'm Roger Montserrat, Director of Level Up Game Dev Hub. We are here to share with you our last 5 games developed in our 3rd edition from our incubation program. Do you want to discover more details about Level Up? Before presenting you our recent projects, let's see a short reel about our incubation program. Do you feel excited like we do? Stay here to discover more details about our recent projects. Our teams and staff will be in the chat. Feel free to write your opinions and questions to them. Don't forget to use the hashtag #LevelUpDemoday in your social networks to share your opinion about our games. Level Up is a pre-incubation program partnered with many private and public entities in Spain and Catalonia. As you can see, we have many partners, publishers and collaborators joining forces together in order to offer most opportunities for our teams. Level Up has a special ecosystem split in 4 areas. One is the pre-incubation program, our program of 10 months to boost new studios and professionals who want to enter into the video game industry. Then we have our premium education programs called bootcamps, where we do online in order to get specialized in different areas of game development. Then we have our co-working space based in Barcelona for our studios and other professionals who want to share the same space to learn from each other and join forces. And then we have our video game Level Up Game Dev Academy, which is free contents of know-how like tutorials or video courses, or a podcast and other kind of events like game jams or similar in order to offer rich content to everyone. The pre-incubation program is a 10 months itinerary for our teams who wants to learn and create video games professionally. To do it, we are arranging about 100 hours of professional training of different areas, 60 private hours of mentoring, and a budget of 1,000 euros for companies who are gonna constitute the studio. Then we are offering this itinerary up to 5 teams per year. Usually we are doing a weekly support of one-to-one mentorees in terms of production or special areas. Then we are doing this format live and offline activities, like for example, groupal mentoring or private mentoring. And then we are attending up to 2 to 4 events in the industry in order to get experience and get feedback and share the prototypes and demos with the market. Our expertise is spread in many different areas. Thanks to our huge amount of partners and collaborators that are offering their expertise and know-how to our program. As you can see, Here we have many different areas like business development, legal, financial, tax support, or maybe product management, the production itself, strategic marketing in order to know the market, or for example, communicational strategies like public relations or other kind of actions to distribute and communicate the game, or the video game design, which is a very core area to develop, user experience and user interface design, Unreal and Unity programming, art direction, sound and music, technical art or environment art and VFX, or even animation. With all of these areas, you can get a nice quality control and a nice feedback of your game without having all of these specialists in your team. It's a very nice way to establish good quality of your demo in a very accessible manner. You can discover more information about our mentors in our website, but here you can see some of them. As you can see, we have mentors in many different areas, like for example, product management, pitching techniques or business development, legal, or maybe project management and financials, A/B testing, game design, level design, coding, communication, accountant, technical art. It's a very interesting team that you will get in network and you will approach in a very close way, because we like to be very personal and very close to our teams. Feel free to explore the site and discover the details of our teams, our mentors. These are some of our key factors. We are building a long-term relationship as partners. We are preparing a close treatment and generating a feeling of belonging. Then the projects are defined by the team itself. We get involved and follow the evolution after the program. Then we create activities to build community and partnerships. We are boosting the entrepreneur vision, not only the video game vision. We prepare and help about how to professionalize the team and its partners. We are offering access to very specific resources. Then we create synergies between teams, mentors, and these partners. And at the end of the day, we are offering good access to the industry network. The program roadmap is very well arranged in order to take the maximum advantage of the time. We have two parts: the first stage from March to September and the second stage from September to December. Every stage is split with different milestones in order to achieve the maximum output from the experience. As you can see in the first stage, we are preparing the pitch deck in the early stage, which is very nice in order to showcase and communicate the project to the stakeholders. Then we have a high-level production plan, because it's important to know the big picture of the project and the scope of what we want to achieve. Then we are preparing the financial plan of the video game. That's a very basic and necessary milestone that the teams needs to prepare in order to see if the budget is logical and according to the scope of the project. Then we do a market study in order to know the niche and the size of the market that you want to achieve. After that, we prepare the early stage marketing plan in order to communicate and to know our audience and where is going to be the channels and the platforms that you want to communicate your game. Then we help to build the game design document, all the relative documentation for define the contents of the game. After that milestone, we prepare the partners agreement. We help the partners of the studio to establish the official relationship between them in the future scenario of being a company. Then we prepare the pitching practice and scouting, through different events, usually presential or online. In this stage, we finished with 2 versions of the demo. One of them is used in the testing day in Level Up offices, and the other is used to share in different scouting fair events, like sometimes online, sometimes presential, depending on we use one version or another version of this pitching version. In the second stage, we are starting to prepare the final stage of the program. One of the first steps is the opportunity and guidance of Constitute as a company. If the team is interested in Constitute, we help them in order to do the steps in the right direction. Then we polish the pitch deck, because the pitching is an iterative methodology, and it's important to prepare and practice the final pitch deck for the most usual events and opportunities that you will use that. Then we prepare the low-level production plan in a much more closer approach to the milestones and the contents that we have to develop as a studio. This will be perfect to match the budget of your company and project. Then we prepare the studio financial plan with our mentors in order to understand where the money is going to come from different incomes and sources, in order to have a nice strategy in your business plan. Then we will repeat and focus again in the marketing plan in an operational way to focus and understand how will you perform your communication strategy. After that, we will build the long deck, like a pack of or bunch of materials to distribute to your stakeholders, especially the game design document in a much more visual way. Then we will prepare 2 vertical slices for different strategies, some of them for events and players, some of them for publishers and stakeholders. Both of these vertical slices will be exposed in different activities and events, some of them in the last testing day of Level Up, some of them in public fairs. At the end of the second stage, we will finish with this online demo day, YouTube channel and other channels that Level Up use to communicate their projects, and share it with other stakeholders and international stakeholders for boost your project. Our hub have many activities in order to build the community. These are some of our main activities that we do annually, depending on the journey and the season. But here you can see the Level Up Game Jam, which is one of the most important jams of Spain. This is an activity to boost new teams, share know-how, and increase portfolio and nice dynamics between developers. Then we have the Pitch and Match, which is an event that we do in a very close and familiar environment in order to invite new teams to pitch their ideas and try the quality of these ideas. Then we give feedback in order to test these ideas and discuss about opportunities and synergies that can have with other assistants in the event. Then we have our podcast, which is a very large know-how repository that you can start listening now, and usually we want to and like to upgrade with new contents every year. Then we have the Masterclasses Marathon, which is a special event to learn a lot of deep techniques to develop video games in a very intense time window. And all of these activities and some others are activities that Level Up is doing annually to make the community much more excited and close together to do networking and develop their projects. Are you excited to discover our last 5 video games created by our teams last year? Let's see them, and remember, our teams are available in the chat if you want to ask them anything or share your thoughts. Let's go!
Hello, I'm Carlos Martinez from Das Games, and I'm here to present our project RoomBattle. So you might be wondering, what is RoomBattle? Well, basically are Roombas fighting. So these games you will play with your friends in exciting Roomba battles in private and dynamic rooms. And the main objective is like popping the balloons to achieve the victory of the popping the balloons of the rivals. So a little bit of information of the game. It's a local multiplayer party game, a very fast-paced and casual game where players can engage in different game modes, as we will see in the next screen. Also, you can personalize the Roomba with unique and a wide range of customizations, and the maps will be different themes with different interactions in them. Also, the Roombas can equip like different power-ups, for example, making the knife larger or inflating the rival's balloon. So a little bit of information of the game modes. We have the main mode that it's like the battling rooms, but we propose matches with multiplayer rounds, incorporating between them some mini games that we will give to the players some advantage that we call mystery skills, and that will be more different than the power ups. So the minigames part can disable it in this main mode, and also we have like the only minigames mode that at this moment you can also only play like one minigame and go to another, but we are designing how to present this format. Also, you can play as a team or all versus all in all both of these game modes. So how about platforms that we want to launch? We are focused on PC and Switch, that we don't discard the other ones, but we think that as we made a market research, that it are the platforms that we more find to this product. The target is basically player casual, around 18 to 25 years old, and also friends and family, because like a mother or father that have to play some kind of game. But this is a game to play all the family together, and we have seen that in first that a lot of families come and have a great time playing RoomBattle, the demo. The genre basically it's a party fighting game. So also we emphasize that very short matches, around 10 minutes each match. So it's aligned to the trend style lifestyle that we don't have time to play. So this game is a little bit focused on this short experience of it. So how about tags? Our main tags are family friendly, for player local, fast-paced, repeat value, and party games. And our estimation sold are it's around 75,000 units on Steam. So our revenue model, we are focused on a premium model. It's a one-time payment, and we are around 10 to 15 euros. Also, we are focused also into produce more content to the future, adding DLCs or, for example, microtransactions with creating different customizations apart from the premium model. So our reference and competitors, firstly we have Boomerang Fu, it's also a party fighting game with a similar aesthetic that we had, that it was launched 2020 and it had sold around 110 units. Then we have like the bigger project that we can see here, Rubber Bandits and Party Animals. And then we have like this a little bit more familiar projects to us that are Outballers and Headbangers. That Outballers we don't have data, but it had a lot of traction in social media and press. and then Headbangers that was launched at October 2023, and at this moment it had sold around 13,000 units only in Steam. So how about the team? We have like 4 main founders. Arnau and Daniel are the programmers. Me at that time, the producer and marketing aspects, and then we have Oscar that is like the 3D artist. Then we have 3 collaborators. We have level designer Marina, visual design Christina, and also the more experienced part of the team that is Leon, that he had also experience like working as an audio designer in Blizzard or Cartoon Networks. So our previous projects, there are little demos that you can find at Itch.io. We have El Paco that it's like a crazy taxi style with a cartoon similar to RoomBattle, and Clousure that it's like a skill-based shooter. Both you can play and find at Itch.io. So live action part, what's that? Basically, it's the physical game of RoomBattle that we bring in different fairs and events. So these are some example of organizations that had trust in our project, the RoomBattle live actions. And also we are prototyping a smart toy because we want to give the opportunity to have the experience like to play physically and to play digital, to have this both experience with the same concept. So basically our roadmap is at the first quarter of this year, 2024, finishing our vertical live more or less at February, and in 2025 first quarter like finishing the project and launching on the Steam, and later making the port to Switch and the DLC. So what we need? Basically, we need help at porting, bringing us development kit or different kind of agreement. Also, we need help in PR and marketing, especially at the last part and the pre-launch part, to arrive to achieve more people. And last but not least, like the quality assurance, the QA part. So also, I think that we are also think that the online part to implement, but this is a thing that we have to talk more slowly with investor or the publisher part with and all the risk that had in the project this implementation. So now that's it. So thank you for your attention. You can follow us as Dash Games Studio in all the social media, and you can find also as dashgames.s to find more information about the project and the team. So thank you very much, and we'll see you in future efforts and events of video games. Bye bye.
Hello, my name is Alex Idman, a member of the 2 Weeks at Home team and the director of the video game Ludovico Grimm, which I have the honor of presenting to you today. Ludovico Grimm is an action platformer autorunner and its release is scheduled for late 2024 for PC and major consoles. The entire game revolves around a single main mechanic, which is the ability of our protagonist Ludovico to imbue his weapon with celestial blue or infernal red energy. As an assistant to the Green Reaper, Ludovico will use this ability to interact with a series of elements and to send wandering souls to heaven or hell, depending on their color. The game's aesthetic will be pixel art cartoon and it will have a spooky soundtrack. The actions Ludovico can perform are basic attacks, red and blue, of which I have already spoken. Grinding, Ludovico can place the sides beneath his feet and slide on special surfaces. Grinding can also be blue or red and will be another way to attack enemies. The last action we can perform is jumping, which will serve to overcome a variety of different obstacles. Ludovico Grimm features a classic structure with 4 zones. Each of these zones will have 9 levels and a 10th that will be the final boss. Each new biome will introduce new mechanics that will surprise the player and slightly push them out of their comfort zone, as well as help maintain freshness in their gaming experience. In each level, there will be a set of collectibles that will be used to access a new post-game zones. Having to obtain them to access new levels will provide greater replayability and difficulty. The game's length will be between 5 and 12 hours depending on the player's skill and whether they are more or less of a collector profile. And that's all for now. Thank you for your interest.
Hello, my name is Daniel from Chipisol Games and I'll show you the game Danger Mummy. It's inspired by the classic video game Omami, where players use their footsteps to open sarcophaguses and get their content like treasures, papyrus scrolls, keys to go to a next level, or it could appear a mummy inside. It's an immersive game where you must use your sense to orientate in the labyrinth and detect the enemies. Also, you can leave a luminous stone as breadcrumbs. You must move stealthily to avoid alerting mummies. Also, you can turn off the torch and make yourself invisible. And you must survive dehydration, drinking and avoiding to waste stamina. And finally, you can open secret doors, pushing walls. The key features are easy to play, player actions are located in the screen like the gamepad buttons, easy to orientate, game has a top-down view and visual references like paintings only appear on the front walls, and game has a retro style for all audiences, mixing 2D characters using pre-rendered sprites in a 3D world. The unique selling points are: game mixes survival horror, where player is in danger, cannot attack, and must escape, and roguelike genres, where labyrinths are generated procedurally and player skills can be improved. There is no minimap, so there are orientation elements that could be visual and or auditive references like paintings, footsteps, scarps, traps. Game has also educational information. It appears paintings of ancient Egyptian deities explaining their myths, and there is a real treasure of ancient Egypt for each pyramid. Game starts inside the smallest pyramid as a tutorial, where player could find the map of the pyramid's valley containing 8 pyramids. After completed the first time, this pyramid will be optional to play. Next, it will appear a cinematic of the arrival to the pyramid's valley. Pyramid's position will be random with some fixed parameters. Player must play sequentially pyramids with the same number of floors before going to taller pyramids. And in the center of them will be a Jaime shop with a merchant inside to provision the player. At the end, after overcome all the pyramids, player points will appear in the leaderboard of best archaeologist. The characters are mainly Helen Straw, the explorer archaeologist who player controls, Nafisa Hanem, the Arab merchant who sells supplies, sends the treasures found to the British Museum, and gives their letters from Dennis Hinn, the research archaeologist who works at British Museum, and in his letters explains to Helen the current state of the treasures discoveries. The target audience are basically players who prefer playing in single-player mode, who want to feel intensity and excitement, who want to achieve all treasures and collectibles of the game, who are explorers, and who enjoy being another one. The nearest game references are mainly games of survival horror genre, without attack possibility, only you can escape, and has retro style. The business model will be premium with a cost of €10 approximately, with a gameplay length of 3 hours, but it's a game with plenty of replayability because labyrinths are always different. Player wants to achieve all treasures and wants to achieve more points in the leaderboard. Finally, this game will consider the stacks for higher sales. In our team, I'm the lead developer making tasks of game designer, programmer, and producer. My partner Aitor, the musician, making tasks of composing and production. And finally, there are some collaborators for art. An illustrator for the game cover and UI, a 2D artist for the concept art and the Egyptian illustrations shown in paintings on the walls, a 3D artist for the characters and environment art, and finally a pixel artist for some items like sarcophagus and polishing the generated pixel art from 3D. Also, I show you the previous projects from Chibisoft games. First one, it's Super Jagger Bomb, is an arcade game published by Istasia Soft, and next one is Crash Labs, a racing game published by Handusoft, both for Steam and console. The roadmap: in April of the past year, we had a game prototype, a game document design, almost completely defined, a labyrinth generator, and the art style defined. From July to September, we had 2 vertical slides for the testing day, Level Up, and for FanCon Fair. In December, we made another vertical slice for Saga Fair, including almost all the art but with a little gameplay. For the second quarter of this year, we will have finished the gameplay but using the same art. So at that moment, art will be the same for pyramids. Finally, we hope for this year and or the next one, add more art variation, add localization, and port to Steam and consoles. Our needs with a publisher are basically financiation for art, 10,000 euros approximately, porting to Steam and consoles, marketing, press hiring, and streamers, and localization, the translation to the main languages for a better diffusion. And that's all. Thank you. And you can follow us on our website, the profile of X, and or you can send us a mail to this contact. Thank you for watching.
Hello everyone, my name is Enrique from Krakensen Studios, and I'm excited to show you here today our new game, HeartWeaver. What do we want to convey with HeartWeaver? So HeartWeaver is a game that focuses on the feelings of the player. We want to really have the player feel what our protagonist is feeling, and to achieve that, we have many key points. So for example, we are making a 3D environment, so it's closer to reality. The story is what drives the game. It also has some puzzles and some changing mechanics to make it interesting and fun. We also have a charismatic and useful companion that creates this dynamic experience that the player will experience. And we also have different worlds in the same world. So the fantasy world, we are going to dive deep into Aces, our protagonist's head, and there will be different environments which have unique themes. What are our references for the game? So we focused mainly on Inside Out, where emotions are living beings, and we really liked that idea, and we wanted to explore more on that on the games department. We also have some ideas from many games. So for example, from Lost in Random, we have this main character and the companion in a twisted world. From Psychonauts 2, we have these different environments. It Take Two, the changing mechanics. And Rhyme is what makes us create this game the way it is. So for example, Rhyme is a puzzle game. We are creating a puzzle game, and I think it's a light puzzle game, so we want also to have the same effect, obviously with different mechanics. Here we can see some screenshots from our game. This is a demo version that we had done. And you can see there are dialogues. We have this 2D, this swampy environment, the different colors, the linings. You can see here we are now in another world. It's the sadness world. You can see there are lots of blues, the water. You can see it changes. How big is the world? So the world will be we'll have different zones. We have the first the numbness zone, so the tutorial zone. We have then the fear zone, the sadness, and the anger zone, which are the emotions that someone is experiencing when they have lost a closed family member, And then we have the final boss, which will be where the player has to combine all the mechanics to succeed in the game and to make Ace happy again. And we also give the player the possibility to change the story. So that's why we say let them fade forever, because you can choose to either absorb the emotions or you can choose to completely deny them, which means the story will be different. So our gameplay loop is pretty straightforward. We have for each zone a new emotion plus skills. Sometimes in a zone you will learn 2 or more emotions, so it's not until the end of the game that you get to experience this emotion switcher mechanic. So we want the player to experience it as early as possible. We also have some narrative there, some puzzles to test these new skills, some combat, which is not really combat, it's more like puzzle combat. And then we have the final puzzle of the zone. And if you achieve that, then you have conquered that emotion. Finally, we have the end of the game where we have the final boss. And also we have some replayability and completion by using all emotions in the past zones. This gives us a rough playtime of 4 or 6 hours, depending on how experienced the player is. Our audience is mainly a female audience, 23 years old, likes deep stories, interesting characters, is fresh out of university or is already working, so they have the time and the money to buy this game. Plays both on console and computers. He's not a fan of hardcore games, but also has some experience gaming, so they want some challenge. When will the game be ready? So for now, in January, we are creating the final tutorial map, the introduction map, which is also a redesign from what I've showed you, because we really wanted to have a higher ceiling on the art level, on the art skill. And then we have a 2-month per map roadmap, because we have understood that that's what takes us to create a map. So March means the fear map is ready. June, which we also call the vertical slice 1 internally. Then June, we have the sadness map. You can see here it's more like 3 months, but it's also because we have some other tasks to do, like refining the animations or the art itself. So that's why we have this extra time. And then on December this year, we will have the game completed, which means that we can launch it next year, probably Q2. Depends also on when we want to launch it. If we find a publisher, when the publisher wants to launch it, or if it's better their schedule. And we also have the time to refine the game if necessary, so do some testing. Of course, we will be doing testing throughout the whole year, but like the final testing, and also market the game, which is pretty important. Our revenue model is consoles first, but we will also release the game in Steam. And the price will be 15 euros, 14.99, so people feel it's cheaper. And here, finally, let me introduce our talent team. We have 3 artists, Vero, Violeta, and Sydney. We also have a producer, some designers, 2 designers, a programmer myself, and then someone in the sound department. We are few, but we think we are the necessary people to make the game. Thank you for your time. I hope you really like the game, and if you want to know more about the game, you can either follow us on our newsletter, you can write on Gmail, Twitter, Instagram. Thanks for your time.
Hi, my name is Celia and I am in charge of the production of Azra. Azra is characterized by its soft Metroidvania mechanics. This means that we are not afraid to break or modify any of the norms of the genre to reach our goals. And for its fluid combat based on combos and its pixel art. In addition to the story, the heroine's journey is full adventure and fantasy, and with Chibi's recent success story with Mika and the Witch Mountain, our game is heavily inspired by traditional animation. Our references, both mechanically and aesthetically, are mainly Blasphemous, Guacamelee, Ori and the Blind Forest, Hollow Knight, or Super Smash Bros. And if we leave the video game industry, the French animated series Wakfu would be also very important. The gaming experience in Azra is built on these three pillars: fluid combat, with exploration through platforms, and the story of the heroine's journey with great narrative depth. This way we create rich, varied, and balanced game sessions with mechanical combat challenges, but also more relaxed moments in which we can learn a little more about Azra and its universe. The game sessions are based on exploring the map to unlock new abilities that make it easier for you to unlock new areas and advance in the story. And this follows a somewhat more linear order than the traditional Metroidvania. As for the features playing Azra, of course, you can control water. It's our mainly mechanic. With the versatility, fluidity, and freedom of movement that the element of water brings. But you will also be able to explore a world full of dungeons, full of platforming, while forcing an extensive roster of enemies and bosses in combat. Our target audience is Metroidvania lovers, players looking for a real challenge when playing, and those who love video games. People who like light and fast movement that requires some practice, and those who like to enjoy a deep and very narrative story. Some of the games that will be part of the competition right now would be games like Edwards, Aeterna Noctis, or Okinawa Rush. The game is a one-time payment with a price that, based on the competition with other similar games, would be between 10 and 15 euros. The genre, as I said, is Metroidvania, and the platforms on which we plan or release are mainly PC, and consoles, if the circumstances allow it. And also our engine is Unity, that's what we are using. Currently, there are 10 people working at Azra, with all positions covered, from programming to audio. We have one person in almost every department. And if the situation of the project and the studio were regularized and we obtain financing, we would have to consider whether to outsource the audio department, for example, or see what point of the development some roles would be needed. But for now, since we are in the incubator, we are not all together until the time comes to formalize ourselves as a studio. As you can see, part of the team has already worked on other projects, such as Manita's Kitchen, which went on sale last December, and All on Board by The Game Kitchen. Our members of the team have also worked on more projects through their careers, so as a whole, the team has quite a bit of experience in the industry. Through the development of Azra, we have attended several fairs such as Gamergy of Expotaku in Coruña, and we also been nominated for Best Narrative at the 2021 PS Talents here in Spain. We are currently part of the Level Up, despite it ended like last month. And individually, the different members of the team on our own have also won various awards in jams and competitions through our careers. As for the production plan, we are currently working towards our first vertical slice, which would be approximately 1/15 of the final game. This vertical includes Azra abilities and movement, a dungeon with 2 types of enemies, and a zone with a final boss, as well as a town that acts as a safe place for the player with their respective non-playable characters. We estimate to have this vertical by December of this year. We are almost done. We are a little under schedule. And with the current team of 10 people, if we could dedicate a full day to it, the game will be fully ready in June 2025, 17 months if we start counting from this month. Okay. In the current case in which we find ourselves, and based on the data collected from games with similar tags, we estimate to sell about 52,000 copies. As for the publishing needs, we of course need economic inversion and marketing, location and porting, and of course QA support. We estimate the cost of the project at 19,500, and dividing the expenses between salaries for the 10 members for the 17 months I said earlier, license, hardware, and marketing. And furthermore, for each platform above the PC, we add 3 months of production and 10,000 for a platform. And that's all. Thank you for your time. All feedback is welcome, and that's all.
Did you enjoy our team games? We sure you did it. And remember, we have our 4th Cool edition open, so hurry up, submit your video game project. We can't wait to discover your talent and level up your game and your studio. It has been a pleasure to share with you this space. See you in our future events. Bye bye.